Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. Another episode of Be You podcast, part of Super Mom's Magic Circle. Super excited today. We're going to have an amazing guest. But before we go into that, let me share something with you. I still have 2 slots available for anyone who's ready to grow their business. Please send me a fire, and then I know you are ready to grow your business. And I can offer you a free business clarity coaching session. So just send me that butterfly. Now let's go back to the black butterfly goddess. Woohoo! So who is she? She's an amazing woman. And what she does, she empowers women to heal and generational trauma as well. And she's discovering your purpose and also is cultivating your spiritual growth. Super excited. Let's say hello. Hello to this beauty. Hello.
Hello, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. I'm always glad to speak with you. Your colors, your energy is just so beautiful. So please, let's start and talk with us about your journey.
Oh my goodness, where do I start? Um, well, I've been a psychic medium since I was 2 years old. My mother found out when I was squealing around the living room, running, going, Pop, Pop, can't catch me. And she's looking around like, funny, my dad's not here. And the phone rang, and it was my Nana telling her my Pop Pop had just transitioned. Um, I had a pretty normal childhood until I was 9. Mom had a
Wow.
mental breakdown, and my real father came looking for me. The man my mother was with, I never knew he wasn't my father,
Mm.
until this stranger came looking for me at my grandmother's house. And I knew something was terribly wrong immediately. You have that gut feeling. And, even though I'm a 9-year-old child, I'm like hiding behind my grandmother. And I was always like out there, loved to talk, all of that stuff when I was a child. And my grandmother's like, what is wrong with her? Like she's hiding behind me. My mother decided to go to nursing school and sent me to live with him.
Mm. Wow.
My father took something from me that night that can never be given back. Never. I told my fifth grade teacher when I went to school the next day what had happened. I showed her the bruises and the other evidence where I tried to fight him off of me, but her and my guidance counselor laughed at me instead. you know, what do you want me to do? Punch him in the face? Yes, I want you to punch him in the face. Yes, that's exactly what I want you to do. I'm 10 years old and I want you to go punch him in the face. And so, of course, that shaped my reality.
Mm.
Being essayed by your father and being impregnated by him, that shaped my reality. I chose the worst of the worst friends, the worst of the worst significant others. If it was out there unhealed and wreaking havoc, it was right for me. And so I married a very abusive man. Both of us were abusive at times, um, because that's the way we were raised. And I realized something's terribly wrong with this. Something's not right. But it was after he held me at gunpoint
Wow.
for 3 hours while I begged for the kids' lives, not mine. He wasn't going to take me out. He was going to take the kids and then himself. My second husband put me and my teenage daughters on the street over a lie his teenage daughter told out of jealousy. And then I took time off, right? Locked myself in my room. I'm not coming out, except to drive kids here and there and do those types of things. But basically, I'm not dating. I'm not looking for friends. This is what I'm gonna do. And I meet this charismatic fourth grade teacher who just had this swag about him and handsome and knew how to speak and would hold my door open. And I'm so in love. I have butterflies. I would rather endure what my father put me through again than to spend 10 minutes in a room with that man. He slowly ate away at my soul.
Hmm.
I wasn't enough this. I didn't do this right. I wasn't enough that. I didn't do that right. And after 2 years of being screamed at, he read my journals. That's personal. He read
Oh,
my journals. He went through my phone and found messages between me, my ex-husband, and our divorce attorney and tried to use that as leverage. I didn't even know he existed then. His insecurities became mine. I get a call on a random Wednesday. My brother-in-law stepped out of the shower and passed away on my sister's bedroom floor. So of course I'm coming to be with my sister, right? Like, what else would I do? I knew when I boarded the airplane that he couldn't be alone one night. I knew that. So I
hmm.
knew he was going to cheat. I woke up at 2:40 something a.m. I knew that was the moment that he had cheated. I knew what he was doing. I get back and all of my body systems, right? We've got all these great energy systems in our bodies, and they tell us yes or no. And every one of them is screaming, no, go home, go to your house. And even as we're taxiing down the runway and I'm sending my last text to my best friend, she says, why don't you go to your house tonight? And I said, I'm not up for the arguing. I'm tired. I had to be there for my sister. I couldn't even cry. I couldn't even process that my brother-in-law is gone.
Right.
I get in the car and I'm trying to be excited because his son is in the back seat. He's this bright, shining, beautiful ray of sunshine of a child. So bright, so amazing. And so I said, when I lived in DC and I worked for presidential appointees, I was trying to get away from those old buildings. I didn't want anything to do with them, so I never visited the sites. I drove past them. That was enough for me. The car got cold. And I'm wondering, oh God, what did you say wrong? What could you have said wrong? You said one thing. What could it have been?
Hmm.
We get home, I take my shower, and a voice says, put your phone in your pocket and hit record. First time I listened to that voice since I met him. It was my mother. And that's what I did. And I go in the living room and he says, I'm not going anywhere with you where you traipsed around with some other man. And of course, me being me, I'm like, traipsed. I don't, I don't traipse. That term is for streetwalkers. I'm not a streetwalker. I don't traipse. And so, you just wanted to start an argument. You just got back and you want to start an argument already. You're supposed to reassure me that I'm the only man that you want to go to those sites with. You're supposed to reassure me of this and make me feel this way and make me feel that way, and you don't do it.
Wow.
Because of my father, I'm a master at dissociation. I checked out. And I'm looking at myself from across the room, and I'm just gone. And all of a sudden, my body stands up and I walk in the bedroom and lay down, recording all night. He followed me and I wouldn't engage. But the thought in my head at that moment was, if you take that whole bottle of pills, nobody will know. You'll be gone by the time they find you. No, 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 you can't do that. I just go to sleep. The next morning, I wake up, I get a cup of coffee, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed trying to figure out what just happened because my brother-in-law is gone. My type A perfect sister is Jello. There's a 6-month-old cane corso in that house, and he lost his person too. How do I process this? And he comes in the room and starts yelling, and immediately I dissociate and go over and get the pills. And I try to take my life.
Oh no. Oh no. Wow, I didn't want to interrupt you because it's so much in there, but please carry on and sharing with us what happened next.
I was taken to the ancestral plane where only the ancestors exist. And in that space was my mother, of course, because she's the one who had been talking to me and waiting for me. Um, but also my daddy from childhood was there. And daddy had his head down slightly because he didn't want to tell me no. He never told me no. And so I'm like, Daddy, because I haven't seen him since 1986. This is my daddy. This is my big, strong daddy who told me I could be anything I wanted to in this world. And I believed I could be Wonder Woman. I used to spin around the living room in my Wonder Woman underoos. And daddy told me I could be like Wonder Woman, so I believed it. And my mother was there, and I'm all excited. And I'm like, finally, Daddy, Mommy, I'm with you. I'm with you. And Daddy had his head down. Not my father, the man before my father. He had his head down because he never told me no. And he goes, no, boom, boom. It's not your time. And my mother, the Leo that she is, poised. People are waiting for you. And I'm like, Mom, please, no, don't send me back. Please don't send me back. Nobody loves me. I'm worthless. I have to be Satan's child. I'm just a nobody. Nobody needs me. And my mother just is ignoring me. And she says, you have a purpose and it begins now. And she pushes me back into my 3D body. I wake up and my first thought, of course, is couldn't even do that right. He's right. You're worthless. He's absolutely right. And of course, because of that, I had to go and stay in the hospital. But even there, he tormented me and got extra days added to my hospital stay. I get out of the hospital, I move back to DC because I knew if I had stayed in Atlanta that I would have gone into his rotation. He was the only man that I ever loved. I realized that he was the only man that I truly ever was in love with. And so I have remained single, celibate, working on myself, healing, and all these wonderful things are coming into my life now.
Wow. I don't even want to stop you because I'm fascinated by every single word you're saying and everything you've been through. And I have to say, I I am into the spirituality. I'm definitely 100%, but I never met someone to really say the story like this. Like, I mean, so many times in your life, you felt That intuition. And when you mentioned that you could see yourself out of your body and everything else you just, shared with us, it's just so powerful. And it's that aha moment that
Yes.
I know that's a gift, but is there for us, like normal people, can we step into that? Is that a process we can go through so we can so we can experience something like that?
Everyone has intuition as their gift. Every single person on earth has it. Processes that you can go through to strengthen it. There are women that work with me where we do that. We do that. I teach them how to tap into their intuition, how to be guided by their intuition, and how to listen to it and make sure you listen to it because it will never steer you wrong, ever.
Okay, so what would you say is the first step someone can take to stop getting closer and see this intuition?
Stop listening to everyone else's opinion of you.
Mm.
Take the mask that you wear for everyone. You know, you wear one mask at work and one mask at home and one mask in front of your kids and one mask in front of your friends. Take them all and burn them. Be you, not who your parents wanted you to be, not who society expects you to be. Be yourself. Then, when you feel those stirrings right here, depending on the feeling, it's a warning. Your body is rejecting a person, a place, or a thing. So let's say I pick up my coffee cup and I feel that stirring down in my abdomen. There's something in here that's not right for me. I'm going to put it down.
Mm. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Your story, oh my gosh, even if I have to cut it into pieces, it's like, where do I start? Where do I end? Because you've been through so much,
Yes.
so much. And look
Yes.
at you now, butterflies, colorful. You're empowering women. You are changing their lives. You're doing incredible things. And I just have to say, I'm so grateful and I feel so blessed to have you in my world. And thank you so much for saying yes to Be You podcast. It's magical to have you here. Share with us a
Thank
bit
you.
more about your magic. Share with us a bit more about your businesses. What do you do and how do you help others?
So, one of the things that I do to help others is I call myself a guide. I don't like the word coach because I'm not making you run and do burpees and throw a ball. That's for that space. I'm a guide. I'm going to guide you from your pain to your purpose. I'm going to guide you out of your ashes and into your ascension. Um, we do that with a number of different modalities. Something else I do is I teach. I offer webinars, classes, courses, all types of things to get to know all things psychic as well as healing. And I blend the two with my clients. Let's just say I have a cheat code because I can talk to the other side. So when I'm talking to a client, I'm not just talking to that person as I am you right now. I'm listening to their guides and my guides, and then creating their weekly plan for them. Um,
Wow, well, I stop you there because this is really incredible. And do you do this by channeling? So you're not doing this all the time. You literally have to do that when you take your time and start channeling. Is that right?
yes.
I'm really curious. Shall we do an experiment very quickly? If it's not taking you too
It's not
long.
gonna work.
It's
It's
not
not
gonna
gonna
work.
work because I'm not I prepare myself for that. And I did
Ah,
not do the ritual this morning to channel. But I'm open for any other questions you have. I just my to when I do that, I do a certain ritual to prepare myself to protect myself in the
Right.
spirit realm. Because when you're playing with the spirit realm, you have to be protected. You have to know how to get your body back.
Makes sense. And thank you so much
Because
for saying that.
something,
Yeah, you don't want you want
yes,
the good
are
ones.
not so good.
Makes sense. So just for everyone else who's listening and watching this, it is a ritual in place and you are doing more work than everyone else could see at the surface because you go really
Yes,
deep into that and it's a lot for you to take in as well, so you definitely have to protect your energy. So that's
yes.
perfect. I know you're working on a summit. Tell us more about the summit.
The Heal Her Summit, a global movement for survivors of abuse, is taking place May 16th through 18th virtually. And with that is a book for survivors called Why.
Hmm.
And I am on a mission to get 500 survivors to share their why. Why didn't you report it? Because as survivors, we're the ones who get asked the questions, not the perpetrators. So I am creating that. Sacred You out of Australia, sacredyou.love has sponsored my summit. Lisa Alexander is blasting it and helping. She's a great woman in this space. And it's gaining a lot of traction very quickly, very quickly. And we've got some dynamic speakers. Oh my goodness. Every
Fantastic. I
speaker.
will put you in touch with a few amazing ladies as well because I'm sure you're going to connect with them. And oh my gosh, yeah, this is it. I'm going to make a note here. I'm going to make sure I would do that for you because it would be phenomenal. That's great. So tell me everything you do. What's the thing that really brings you joy the most? What do you enjoy the most?
What I enjoy the most is when I have a coaching client and I see their eyes light up. There's this point where they turn this corner. It happens between 3 and 5 weeks. They turn this corner and all of a sudden they have life in their eyes. They've got a smile on their face. Their skin is glowing. And I love it because when they come to me, a lot of times they're like this and, just fragile and broken. And I love it. I love it.
To see the spark in their eyes, it's just so
Yes.
rewarding.
Yeah.
Beautiful. You mentioned about purpose early on. Let's go back to that in a very, very simple language for everyone to understand. What's your perspective about purpose?
Everyone has one. And your job is not your purpose. Your purpose is actually that thing that you used to love to do as a child. It's tied into your inner child because your purpose is in line with who you were supposed to be before everybody told you who you should be.
I love that. I love that. And so many times in my coaching as well, I go back so often and ask, what do you remember about your childhood? What did you enjoy doing, love doing? You were so happy doing it. Let's go back into that and try to bring more of that in your current life because that's going
Hmm.
to change the game you're playing. That's for sure. Thank you
Hmm.
so much. Thank you. I really, really appreciate everything you share with us. And I'm still going back to the beginning of the podcast, and I still can't even imagine how it was for you to go through all of that. Tell me, where did you find the strength? How did you overcome all those setbacks? What was your secret?
My mother. My mother transitioned 26 years ago, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, it was the anniversary. And she's come through a few times from the other side very strongly to the point to where even my children who have not met her can sense her presence. But she was here with me through the whole thing.
Wow. Okay. Well, we send her lots of love, hugs, and kisses, and I'm glad she stepped in and she was supporting you when you needed. That's amazing. So, if anyone would like to experience something like that in a way of, we know we had so many lives, like we know probably not that much about it, but sometimes it's kind of not helping us to move forward unless we are aware of what maybe
Mhm.
happened. Because we do tend to, if your grandmother was poor and she was struggling without knowing, we might carry on having money limiting beliefs, for example, and we want to struggle as our grandmother did. This is my experience, what I heard. It's not my pure experience, but what I saw happening. Is that accurate?
Very extremely accurate. And I'm so glad you brought that up because people do not realize that those things are passed down in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't understand why we can't hold on to money, why it's just like water through our fingers. It's because somewhere back in your lineage, someone took a vow of poverty. Now, it's not that they sat there and said, I vow to be poor for the rest of my life, but they accepted poverty. And so it's in your DNA and you have to get it out. You've got to break it to get it out.
So, what's the process? How can we start doing that? If we want to work with you, for example, what do we have to go through in order to heal from that, or at least to accept it happened and to just say, break it, break the cycle?
A lot of shadow work, a lot of inner child work, um, because at some point your inner child recognized it. Um, Sometimes past life, sometimes channeling the person who took the vow without knowing what it was. All of that helps to heal that issue. Tapping is good as well.
That's great. That's great. So, yes, my little baby, she wants to say hi, looks like. Hello, gorgeous.
It's
You want to say,
okay.
yeah, she's here with us. She's not
Beautiful.
feeling very well today, bless her. It's the first time. She's 7 months today, and she's not feeling well. It's the first time when she has a cold, so she wants mommy all the time. But it's okay. She's okay. I think she loves your energy and she can feel you. She wants to be around. That's beautiful what you just said there. That's great. So what's the easiest option for people to connect with you? What's the easiest way they can get in touch with you?
Uh, Black Butterfly Goddess everywhere. All social media. My website is blackbutterflygoddess.com. The website for the summit is healher.biz. But Black Butterfly Goddess.
Fantastic. And I will put all your social media everywhere for people just to be like a click away so they can go in your way and send butterflies to her. Please send her butterflies because she will know you're coming from this community and she has some special
Yes.
offers for you. And go and check her out, check the summit, check everything you're doing because it's just so beautiful, everything you do. And I'm just,
Thank you.
again, very grateful, very, very grateful to meet you and to know what you're doing. And it's incredible how you're changing people's life, and that's amazing. What would you
Thank
say is
you.
the final message you like us, well, the audience, what do you want to maybe it's a quote or a message you want to share?
Ladies, especially those of us in the middle of life who have, had our children, please start investing in yourselves. Start loving on you. Um, because we don't realize how much we give away until the kids are gone, the pets have transitioned, and the house is quiet. That's when we realize all that we've given and that we don't know ourselves. So
Mm,
please begin the healing journey. Find someone, find help, and you won't feel that way, that loneliness, that sadness.
Wow, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. Thank you so much. Thank you. We definitely we don't spend that much time and we don't prioritize ourselves that much unless you go through something. Like in my case, I went to a burnout, depression, chronic pain, you name it, panic attacks almost every day for 4 years in a row. It was horrible. And this is when I started my coaching. And as soon as I started my coaching business, this is when everything started aligning for me. And this is when I had kids, even if before I was dealing with infertility or I was dealing with a miscarriage. So please, please take this time and go back and discover who you are. So we go back to be you. Before I let you go, let's go back because you mentioned be you. And I know the reason why we connected. It was be you and also the butterflies. Those were the words and the signs that talked the same language for us. So let's
Yes.
go back a little bit before I promise I'll let you go in a few minutes. Tell us more about Be You and how can someone step in being themselves and what Be You truly means to you.
Being you means to me being the person you were before everyone told you who you should be. Parents, siblings, school authorities, professors, bosses. You're wearing a mask for each and every person. You don't realize that every person you meet, you're wearing a different mask and playing a different role. That's not who you at your core are. And then you find yourself screaming and people pleasing and saying yes when you really want to say no.
Mm,
It's worth
fantastic.
it to just be you.
It is because life is short. Let's face it, it is. So pleasing others, yes, I play that game. But
Hmm.
being unhappy, yes, I've been there. You know, pleasing everyone else and not looking after your needs and your values. Yes, of course, I was there, guilty of that as well. So, what does it take to be you? Just start doing it and see what happens. And I'm pretty sure magic will happen because once you step into that power, wow, you're going to attract amazing things in your life. Thank you ever so much, Black Butterfly Goddess. I even love your name. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything you shared. Thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you for being so open. And please go and connect with her. Have a chat, see how she can help you. Send her a butterfly and just start becoming you. Start being you, the best version of yourself as you were as a child. This is all for today. And remember, I still have 2 slots for the business clarity session. So make sure you book yours. Just send me a fire. And if you're ready to step in and grow your business, then we can do that together. This is all from today. Keep on smiling, keep on shining. See you next time. Be You podcast continues. Bye.